Episode 3 of Hawkeye, now streaming on Disney+. This video is not sponsored by Disney, by the way. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Robert Storms, back again with another Hawkeye review. This is episode 3 of Hawkeye. I believe it's titled Echo, and this is mostly about, that's right, you might guessed it, that's right, that Echo is one of the main characters in this episode. And in the comic books, I believe she's the adopted daughter of Kingpin. We don't really know how she plays out in this, other than the fact that she is the leader of the tracksuit gang, or tracksuit mafia, whatever the hell they're called in this. This is actually my favorite episode so far of this series. I believe this is going to be a 6-episode series. This is the 3rd episode, so we're at the midway point. But this was the episode that I enjoyed the most, because the first episode was all about the setup of basically Kate Bishop and Clint Barton. We're getting to know Kate Bishop. Then we kind of see in episode 2 where they kind of meet, and then they kind of like mingle a little bit. This was the 3rd episode, to me, was the episode where we're finally starting to see that relationship gel, that relationship that I wanted to see from like him and Wanda and like Age of Ultron, Civil War, Avengers Endgame. The relationship that Clint Barton and Wanda had, that's what I wanted to see between him and Kate Bishop. And I was finally starting to see some of that now. The fact that he lost his hearing aid and he was able to really have to rely on Kate Bishop to be his ears, I thought brought them much closer. And when they started going into the stuff with the family and how she kind of just really feels for this guy, and yeah, Hawkeye also has a lot of baggage for all the bad things he's done in his life. A lot of things, like with Black Widow, with all the baggage that she had, Clint still carries that with him, and he tries to tell her, like, I'm not a role model. And we start to see the human side of Clint Barton, and that's one reason why I've always been a fan of Hawkeye in these movies. I'm not the biggest Hawkeye fan in the comic books, but in the movies, I don't know if it's because Jeremy Renner's performance, but I really like this character a lot. He is a character, he's the everyman. He is you, he is me, he is us put in this situation. He said it best in Age of Ultron. It's like, we are flying and we are fighting robots and I have arrows. You know, he is us. He is us. Like what are we supposed to do against an army of Ultron bots in a city that's flying hundreds of miles into the air? But we are him. And he's going out there because that's his job. And his speech with Wanda, like, you step out there, you are an event. Like, the emotion that he puts behind, he is us. He is the everyman. And we were able to kind of see a little bit of that relationship start to gel with him and Kate Bishop. Now we get over to the Echo side. I found it very, very interesting. I don't know much about Echo. I did a little bit of research. Apparently, she was the adopted granddaughter of the Kingpin, and she has affiliations with the Hand. She was also had an alias of Ronin at one point. So I don't know a whole lot about Echo. In the series, we see that her father was basically the leader of the tracksuit mafia or tracksuit gang, and he was killed by Ronin, and now she wants his revenge. Pretty straight and arrow. We kind of get a little backstory. She doesn't have any hearing. She has one prosthetic leg. I don't believe in the comic book she has a prosthetic leg, so that might be, you know, Disney just saying, hey, we need to appeal to a certain demographic, let's give her a prosthetic, because that's what Disney does. It's like, we're going to take a character and we're going to change them to try to appeal to another audience. To me, it's not that big of a deal. You know, she wears pants. You can tell if she has it or not. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it's just there to make other people feel good, whatever. It doesn't take away from the story. They didn't really rely on, you know, pushing that agenda too much. It was like, oh, she has a prosthetic, whatever. And then we just continue on. She is a badass from what I've seen. Like, she's an absolute badass. And if she has any affiliation with the Hand in the comic books, that probably explains why, because anyone from the Hand is an absolute badass. You know, just look at Elektra, Matt Murdock, you know, and Stick, you know, all came from the Hand and were very well trained. Whether this is going to tie into Daredevil or not is yet to be seen, because Echo's origins ties back to Daredevil, and I just don't know what they're going to do with the Daredevil character, Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock, or even Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. There is a lot of rumors, people speculating Kingpin is going to show up in this series. I don't think anybody should really bank on that, because there has been no indication as of yet that they're planning on bringing the Netflix characters in. We just seen them recast Mahershala Ali, who was Cottonmouth and Luke Cage, into Blade. So it doesn't really look like they're really paying too much continuity to the Netflix series. That was a Netflix series. This is Disney. So Disney kind of wants to do their own things. I would like to see Charlie Cox come back. I think he's a great Daredevil. I would like to see anyone from that universe come in, but I just don't think anybody should really bank on that. That's just my opinion on it. But overall, this episode I thought was very, very solid. My favorite episode of the season so far, of the series so far. Really like the relationship aspect between Kate and Hawkeye. That's what I was looking for. I thought the chase scene was done very, very well. It was funny. It was action-packed. I liked everything. I like where it's going, and I can't wait to see how this series continues to move forward as it wraps up in the later part of the series. So anyway, guys, that's my thoughts on episode 3 of Hawkeye. Be sure to leave your comments in the comment box below. Tell me what you think about the episode. And until next time, as always, I am Robert Storms, and that's my opinion.